Attention passionate Green Bay Packers fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Green Bay Packers' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Green Bay Packers fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Green Bay Packers fans. Let's get to the news. Now, folks, if you've been paying close attention to the Packers offseason, you know that this team, as always, is in a constant state of flux, trying to improve and find the right pieces to push for another Super Bowl. And a lot of fans are wondering, what's the latest on their secondary? Well, the cornerback position has been a bit of a question mark, since they made the tough decision to release Jaire Alexander back in early June. Jaire, of course, has been a cornerstone of the Packers' defense for years, a true CB1 when healthy, but his departure left a noticeable hole on the perimeter that the team has been scrambling to fill. Since then, the Packers have been experimenting with different options, but the biggest shakeup came with their offseason acquisitions. Nate Hobbs, who was signed as a free agent, has taken over the role on the outside. Now, Hobbs is known primarily for his time with the Raiders, where he showcased some promising skills, particularly in the slot. But the challenge has always been whether he could adapt to being a full-time boundary corner. His previous stint as a boundary CB in Las Vegas was, let's say, somewhat mixed. He had some moments of brilliance, no doubt, but also some struggles, which is why the team decided to move him back inside for the last couple of seasons. The coaching staff, led by Matt LaFleur, has been pretty clear about their willingness to see Hobbs play both inside and outside, especially after his versatility was highlighted at the NFL annual meeting this past spring. LaFleur didn't seem overly concerned about his past struggles on the boundary, emphasizing that Hobbs could be a valuable piece either way. Still, the question remains, can he be the reliable cornerback the Packers need on the outside? That's where things get interesting, because the team's depth chart at CB isn't exactly overflowing with surefire starters right now. Javon Bullard, their 2024 second-round pick, has been filling in well in the slot, as he did for much of last season, but his original position in college was safety, and he's versatile enough that he could be used in multiple roles. And then, of course, there are the other options, like Carrington Valentine, a seventh-round pick from recent seasons who has shown some competence when called upon, and Bo Melton, the converted wide receiver who has been making strides in transitioning to cornerback. Melton's story is pretty remarkable, moving from offense to defense and doing so with some notable success. But for a team with Super Bowl ambitions, relying on a converted wide receiver or an unproven rookie at the cornerback position might be too risky. The Packers, as we know, don't usually move big money or highly regarded players unless absolutely necessary, especially at a premium position like cornerback. Now, here's where the trade rumors come into play. The Kansas City Chiefs, another powerhouse in the league, are in a slightly different situation. They have a philosophy under Andy Reid and Brett Veach that's all about prioritizing the trenches, building from the inside out. They traded away a talented corner, L'Jarius Sneed, just over a year ago, and Sneed was considered by many as a borderline top 10 player at his position. So, their approach isn't about holding onto every star corner, but rather reshuffling to fit their cap and roster strategy. And speaking of cap, the Chiefs are already in a tight spot financially. According to Spotrac, they're projected to be over $50 million above the cap in 2026, which is one of the lowest in the league, meaning they'll probably have to make some tough decisions in the near future. Watson, the cornerback in question, is out of contract after next season, and that's where the Packers could come in. If they're willing to part with a third-round pick in 2026 and a seventh-round pick in 2027, they could land Jaylen Watson, a young, talented corner who's shown flashes of being a solid starter. Watson, for his part, has the size, athleticism, and potential to be a key player in Green Bay's secondary. Plus, with Romeo Doubs and Christian Watson possibly on their way out at the end of the year, the Packers might see Watson as a long-term piece to help rebuild their receiver core, while also strengthening their secondary. The trade, if executed, would give Green Bay a boost at corner, while the Chiefs would recoup some draft capital and clear cap space for their future plans. But let's not forget, making this kind of move isn't just about acquiring a player. It's about fitting into the bigger picture of the Packers, roster construction, and their championship aspirations. They need reliable, proven talent in their secondary to compete with the elite offenses in the NFC, like those led by teams such as the 49ers or Eagles. Jaylen Watson, with his youth and upside, could be that piece. Now, what does this mean for the upcoming season? Well, it's clear that the Packers are trying to be aggressive, looking for ways to improve their defense without giving up too much. It's a balancing act, especially when they're trying to develop young players like Bullard and evaluate options like Hobbs and Melton. But if they pull off a trade like this, it might just be the shot in the arm they need to solidify their secondary and give their defense a real boost. And with all these moves, the focus is on how this impacts their Super Bowl window. The NFL is more competitive than ever, and having a strong secondary can be the difference between an early playoff exit and a deep run. The Packers have been building for success for years, and adding a player like Watson could accelerate their timeline, especially if they can secure him on a favorable deal. Throughout the offseason, we've seen the Packers front office and coaching staff emphasize the importance of a well-rounded team, balancing offense and defense, young talent and veteran leadership. The secondary has been an area of concern, but also a prime target for strategic upgrades. This potential trade with Kansas City could be just that, an upgrade that helps them compete at the highest level. And let's not forget the history here. Green Bay has a proud tradition of making smart, sometimes bold moves to improve their roster. This organization doesn't shy away from taking risks, especially when it's about winning championships. So, if they see Watson as a piece that can help them reach that goal, they might pull the trigger, even if it means giving up a couple of future draft picks. Now, for the fans listening, I want to highlight that the NFL offseason is always full of surprises. Some trades happen quietly, others shake up the entire league. What's exciting about the Packers right now is that they're not just watching from the sidelines, they're actively trying to make moves that can define their season. Whether they land Watson or not, it's a sign that they're serious about competing at the highest level once again. So, what do you think, Packers fans? Do you like the idea of bringing Jaylen Watson to Green Bay? Do you think he can be the difference maker in their secondary? Or are you more confident with the options they already have? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I love hearing from you. Your opinion really matters, especially in this pivotal offseason. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, rumors, and insights on the Green Bay Packers' quest for another Super Bowl title. Stay tuned, stay passionate, and as always, go Pack Go. And now, Green Bay Packers fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Green Bay Packers. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Green Bay Packers news.